Hi, my name's Leona, and this is my presentation on disease detectives. So to introduce this event, what is disease detectives? Well, the first thing you would think of is diseases. However, in disease, we do not go over the biological aspects of diseases, rather we go over epidemiology, which is the study of diseases and how they spread. To break down the word, epi represents upon, demi, the people. Ology, as you know, is the study, so the study upon people. And really what we're trying to do is collect data and find patterns and trends in disease. And from there we use statistics to see whether or not these patterns are due to chance and if further steps are needed to take to control and prevent future outbreaks. In addition, we'll be going over biases and studies, which I will talk about in the next slide. So, in this example, we have a case where Bob is a cook at Krabby Patty restaurant, and tonight he was again practicing his little habit of eating his own food as a way to taste the amount of seasoning. And Bob is quite the interesting specimen. However, the next day, Bob was feeling some symptoms of stomach cramps, nausea, fever, and most importantly, explosive diarrhea. Within an hour, the restaurant started getting constant complaints from customers experiencing the same symptoms. The source was found out to be the chicken. The fried chicken was undercooked, and Bob was careless in the kitchen, resulting in the customers getting sick. We're acting as epidemiologists to analyze this case to figure out how the disease spread. But first, we need to know, how does disease spread? And here we have a typical cycle. It doesn't start at any certain point. It can start at any point, which is the chain of infection. We have the pathogen, which can be a bacteria, virus, fungi, or any other organism that induces disease. Then we have a reservoir, which could be the food that you eat, or maybe a water source that's contaminated. And then we have the portal exit, which could mean the pathogen exits from maybe when you cough or sneeze. We have the mode of transmission, so direct contact would be if you touched or came in contact with anyone or any contaminated person. And indirect contact would be, for example, getting sick from maybe touching an inanimate object that's been contaminated. The portal of entry could be where the pathogen enters the host, which is the susceptible host, who is being exposed to the disease. And that's basically the chain of infection. And here I will kind of just recommend giving them a minute to figure this out. Basically, the pathogen is E. coli, the reservoir is the fried chicken, the port of exit is the feces that contaminates the fried chicken, and then the mode of transmission is foodborne. Maybe I should change the slide actually about that. The port of entry is oral, since they're eating it. And then susceptible host is, of course, the restaurant customers. And that's basically it. And you give them not a lot of time to ask questions, but hopefully you can go through the slide faster than I can.